Hey everyone, this is Alex, and today let's talk about co-teachers. So, what is a co-teacher? What does it mean that you have a co-teacher when you teach English in Korea at a government school? And how does a co-teacher relationship vary from school to school and from person to person? So I'll get into these and give you some tips on how to best deal with a co-teacher and what it will mean for you when you come over to teach here. Okay, so what is a co-teacher? Well, a co-teacher is a Korean English teacher who you'll be paired up with to work together for the entire year, teaching classes and working together to educate the students. And if you're working at a government school, not a hagwon, this will be the case. The co-teacher relationship varies from school to school, from person to person, and you really don't know what kind of teaching arrangement you're going to have when it comes to your co-teacher until you actually meet them and find out. Okay, so let me get into the different types of co-teacher dynamics you might have and how this will actually affect your teaching in the classroom. So I found that there are three different general categories that your relationship will fall into. The first one would be that you take the lead and teach most of the classes, and your co-teacher will just be there for backup. And I found this to be pretty common. A lot of people I've spoken to have this, and in my case I have 4 different schools and 3 of them are like this. So I do most of the teaching and my co-teachers just sit at the back. At one school the co-teacher just leaves completely, is not even there. So that is a possibility, and it's quite nice, you just get to take the lead and are responsible for the actual teaching, and then maybe your co-teacher will step in if there's problems with class management or anything like that. Then the second possibility is that you and your co-teacher will actually be up in front of the class together, teaching the class together. And this is quite nice. I have this with my one co-teacher. We kind of teach the class together. She explains some things in Korean where the kids don't understand, and we both work together, and we get along quite well, so it actually works very well. I think it might be a bit tough if you and your co-teacher don't get along that well, but this is a very possible situation where you'll actually be up there working together and teaching together. Then the third possibility, which is probably the least likely and doesn't happen that often, but it can, is that you sit at the back of the classroom and don't really do that much teaching and maybe just called up by your co-teacher if you needed for something. And I don't think this happens that much, but a co-teacher might like to take the lead and then just have you as a backup. Maybe you'll do some drilling and exercises, but he'll do most of the work. That is a possibility, so you never know. Most of the time I don't have this, but recently my co-teacher has been prepping the students for exams, and I've just been sitting at the back, not really doing that much, just helping out here and there. And it was quite funny. The other day I actually videoed my co-teacher doing some elaborate explanation. I had no idea what he was talking about. My Korean's not that good, but he was basically being very animated, so I thought I'd just pop that clip up now and you can see that and see what it's like when your co-teacher is doing the actual teaching and you're just kind of sitting back and not doing much.
이거 찍어보면 이게 터진 게 선배한테 그러다 보면 빗자루가 때리지나 선배들이 한 3월달이나 2월달 입학하기 전에 얘들은 이거 찍으면 안 되는 거야. 빵물 때도 찍어 항상 빵물 때 이게 아니고 빵물 때 찍고 이게 3월달 입학하잖아.
So those are the different possibilities that I've noticed, and it may be a combination of all of the above. It may be one or the other, and it just depends on your school and your co-teacher and the relationship you have. You may even be able to change it to a different situation if it's something that hasn't been working for you. You could maybe speak to them and ask if you could do something differently, but I would recommend you be very respectful and kind of just remember that you're there to assist and help. So if your co-teacher wants you to be in more of an assistive role and not take the lead, then maybe you should just go along with that. But yeah, it depends on the situation. So I would say that you do want to keep a very good relationship with your co-teacher and put in some effort into maintaining that relationship, because you will be working with them throughout the entire year. So it is very important. Okay, so that's the deal with co-teachers if you are going to be working at a government school in Korea. It's a little bit different at Hagwons. You normally don't have that co-teacher relationship because they are private academies and you're generally doing all the teaching because that's your job there. So if you're at a government school, you can look forward to this co-teacher relationship. Hopefully you can make the most of it and have a good situation with them. So if you like this video, subscribe, send me a message if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.